Dust2 and maybe even a 2-0 that has been brought up to the cards. The only question is whether IHC can stop playing and start winning.
Yeah, have they shuffled the deck themselves this time? Went to Xbox quick, and Hi was there to take challenging fights, but he's still hovering around. He's actually burning quite a lot of util out of the IHC hands because of this pressure, and he is, as well, just being a massive nuisance, continually updating information, and Tamir is undetected and lower, so that's the bomb dropped, and now they have to accelerate here, IHC.
Oh, Shinobi's found another in the meanwhile as well, all the way back from the lower tunnels, goes and makes it 2. This is very much Mr. Timing back at it. Tamir finds it perfectly. Once again, after all that distraction, Cabal's demise will mean Blitz is the only one to have not died, but so far, well, it turns out he might be the only one to get a kill as well. Okay. Okay, there's too many.
Just one? It is just one. Firing squad, 3 men out and just spamming the hell out of that car. ARAVT a pistol round.
And 3 players with Kevlar intact.
Yeah.
That's...
They just keep on winning.
Yeah. That's really nice movement from Hi though, just to be able to make his way out of there.
Very annoying to play against, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. Like that fly you can't swat out. The worst part is when you actually like hit it mid-air, but you can't make contact with the wall in time. So like it just goes up, but you're like, I did hit you, but I didn't kill you.
Just consider that a warning. Stay out of my house. Have that with moths.
Do you get a lot of moths in Nottingham?
Yes, a lot of moths.
Really interesting. Okay. We get a lot of moths here as well, but I don't actually know what like the environmental requirements are to produce that. Maybe just like dampness. I don't know, man.
These ones are like tiny moths.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, we got big ones.
Massive. I know. I've seen the massive moths before.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, 5 players kept alive once again. This is easy breezy days for ARAVT right now.
Yeah, not exactly what I was expecting coming into this series, but hey, they've been playing some great CS. Even if some of the rounds have looked scrappy, they've been the beneficiaries of, I think, just more robust setups and working in tandem with their pairings. You know, they're very frequently when they re-aggress into areas, they have someone right behind them.
Oh, no.
First gun round comes in, and Fury's already found a head with a scout, no less.
Sorry, guys. This is called suicide lane for a reason.
Only 1 kill so far. Now these rifles are out. Hope that IHC can find some more success. Let's this be a one-sided showing. So last time they faced off against each other was in that... Well, what was the cup called? The Jig Jug
National Championship. I don't know if that's the last time they faced up against each other. I'll add that. They might have faced like once more in the qualifier. For the... I'm sorry. You don't get to do that.
There's a wall there. There's a smoke down.
He no-scoped that too.
Some kind of sick practical joke.
Okay, guys, I think Gavin's on their side.
Yeah, definitely one of the more recent successes that ARAVT had over them. Well, they have still gotten no kills past the pistol round here, IHC. All 5 survive, and Fury does the dirty with this scout. 3 kills in the round. Yeah, okay. Well, that's... Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
I also just checked. ARAVT didn't actually face them in the Armor qualifier either. So, might have been right about that. I think the Jig Jug Championship might have actually been the last time these guys faced up against each other. Interesting.
Kind of a ridiculous name.
Hey. I'll have you know, I love them to Jugs National Championships. Fury. Oh. Fire around the corner. Will be able to find nothing, actually. Fury's Molotov steals that away from him. Tamir as well will take the heavy lifting of Hi and put it down.
You don't very often get games that start off like this. Just
What,
no
with only
kills.
one death across 4 rounds, pretty
Yeah.
much. That is true. Oh no. Oh, no. The bomb's been dropped and score is lonely. And
More failures to frag.
who are they going up against next?
So if the bracket is to, if we're looking at that, NKT Lin Vision on the other side. Talked to Expert the other day, and he was saying that NKT were another team that they were looking forward to playing against. You get an opportunity nice and quick. So it will be one of them, unless you're talking about IHC. They'd go down to lower bracket round 2, I think, to face off against either...
Oh no, I'm not talking about IHC, don't worry. Fury ends up falling though. Maybe it is time to finally have a conversation about the broken crown of Mongolia right now.
There's obviously a lot of camaraderie between Mongolian squads. The ARAVT Facebook page was posting all about how IHC made the major. They're proud of them, but domestically, they want to beat them.
Shinobi close range will hear all of this utility coming through. The spray down is coming out. Only good for the one. Will get it on the fadeaway. Even pushes through with the Tech 9. He could have backed off.
Yeah,
instead, he set up for control to wait around behind platform. Controls will reveal his position. Score to shut him down. A mistake punished, an opportunity found. Annihilation on the other side, and Score with a shot through the smoke finally. Seems like ARAVT have overstepped their bounds.
Yeah, those first 2 kills from Shinobi were great, but I think he is probably apologizing in the team comms because as soon as he goes down, it puts way too much focus onto Control as that last player in defense. And then once they had that smoke down at the doors, it felt like IHC could basically do no wrong. There weren't enough resources available there for ARAVT to retake it quickly. Small blunders, but ones that are capitalized on IHC. They pull it back after they found the opening duel, but then were met at the gates. I expect Dust2 will also receive a bomb radius increase at some point or another.
I don't know about that one.
Surviving at the car is a little ridiculous.
I just think it isn't done that often, which is why, I mean, you know, in Inferno was literally every single round.
Yeah, that is true.
Since 2017. I mean, that's what the last graffiti was. So you know Valve knows about it.
All the previous successes and not having a lot of casualties does leave a lot of money in the back pocket. And wow, they line up for the Control AWP. First kill is there, and Control even finishing off the job on another player. Techno tagged down from the earlier fight, and now this time the B aggression will be ground to a complete halt.
High's also just had a couple of LT, so there's no way for them to get back over here. Goodbye, Bomber. I'm gonna see you again next time. No one there to recover it either. This is madness.
Yeah. I mean, the fast boost short into immediate catwalk push was awesome. But you have one success and you're back to not being able to kill a living soul. Never mind. Techno finally gets a couple of kills and gets his hands on that bomb too. So round's not quite done just yet, but he's just so low HP. He has to be as sharp on those 2 duels as he is for the next 3.
Of course, he is the one who ended up suffering the fate of the banged through the wall, rather through his own teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke and a Molotov is there, but nothing beyond that. 5th round secured very comfortably, both ops maintained as well. ARAVT are feeling more than happy with their economical state, and this double op should not be punishing them too hard, even if they end up losing. They should have a bye regardless.
Yeah, nice little effort there from Techno, but ARAVT just play a clean game. Pulled out the double up setup, and IHC find that out the hard way. You have a Techno Mac 10. Don't always just see this used in rush plays only, but nade that's down. They're running straight through those flames. They didn't want to capitalize. A bit of space. Control was alone and didn't have the rifler alongside him, so they are still gunning these players down, though. The double AWP from Control and Hi just picking them to pieces. Just the fast flicks. Control ain't even the main AWPer. That's Hi, and he decides that he wants his AWP instead. It's been touched by the hands of God. Very fast flank, and the Techno AWP is also dealt with, so Blitz is boxed in and can't find any further success. That looked like a great chance for IHC.
You remember how I said Annihilation was having a good time with the AWP in the previous one?
Mm-hmm.
You know what his ADR is now? 1.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
That's a 1 ADR AWPer out there, boys. And I'm pretty sure that's rounding up.
Yeah, probably is.
ESL HUD wasn't built to handle that ADR.
Yeah, never anticipated it to be so low.
I'm going to be having words with the management about this. How absurd.
Yeah, it must be from the pistol round, right? Or like a nade even?
Yeah, nade, probably.
Yeah. Life's hard out here.
Tamir's pushing through. Techno on the other side has been brought down. The straggled spray down, but one that is there nonetheless. God.
Got to be a chance available here for Annihilation. Fury's cut off any potential rotate towards the lower side or even escaping from short. So they are stuck.
Yes.
They're stuck in the mud. Score is holding for the potential flank, but he now averts his gaze over towards A. Hi spots a number of players coming out, but doesn't have confirmation on all of them. Score wasn't looking the right direction, wasn't expecting them to swing from ramp, and every player falls here for IHC. They do get a bomb plant down, but ARAVT are more than satisfied with the way this half is going.
I want to take a moment over here to appreciate how well this video is actually panned out for ARAVT, because obviously it's, you know, we're having fun and everything, but the fact that ARAVT bans Nuke and leads IHC into picking Dust2 is just mental.
Yeah, it was one of those strange things where, you know, they decide to ban second, and by doing this, they basically called a bluff of, hey, if you don't ban Vertigo, we might just pick it. They could have done that if they so choose, but they were scared, I think, that ARAVT might have been preparing it themselves, because there's no way IHC are in anticipation of their major journeys of prepping a map that they have been perma-vetoing all throughout the season. So it's a hard call, but a bluff that pays off for ARAVT, that's for sure. Hi finds his kill with the AWP, but takes a lot of damage for the duel. So the 1-for-1 there from Blitz as well. Lots of nades for Hi. He's prepping for an eventual short turnout by IHC. Trying to Alexi nade it.
Do we don't know the matchups yet for the major, right?
I think first round challenger should be available.
I don't think I can see it, but well, regardless, Shinobi finds Cabal. And with this, Tamir's been left to try and guard off long. Always good for it. Even re-peeks back out. That's a slight mistake. Flashbang is good. Hi forced off the angle. That's a secondary op trying to come into play in the meanwhile. And this is looking like a very doable round for them until Hi finds Score. Shuts him. Oh my god, these guys are feeling maybe a little bit too confident. Shinobi catches him out on the cross regardless. The double op has been lost, and either one of them should be recoverable. Well, yeah, they're not.
They got more than enough money.
Yeah.
I tried to go for like a Call of Duty or quickscope there, to be honest. I mean, the jumping accuracy in that game versus CS is much higher. Really was just trying to get like a transitory kill, but not to be. Again, these close rounds, like we're mentioning, like they lose a lot of resources, but they've got more than enough funds to reinvest. Did look it up as well while we were watching that round. IHC would face EG in the first round.
Oh, come on. You can't be having these collaterals again.
A double leg shot
Yeah, well, that just means Fury's about to come through and farm up. Maybe he can't. Tamir sure as hell can. Flashbang avoided. His own teammates throwing a couple out as well just to make sure they've got the cover off, and everyone is just dying. Seems to be the name of the game. And unfortunately, everyone does not include Control or Shinobi, otherwise maybe IHC would have been a little bit happy about it.
IHC are getting rocked. It's very, very hard to think that this was how this panned out.
Domestic matchups, baby.
I'm dumbfounded.
Just an update on the other upper bracket match as it is going on. This is spoilers, so mute me if you want. All right. Linvision is up 1-0 against NKT right now, so they are, and they beat NKT on their map pick, so they're looking like they're in a good place actually to be able to potentially set up a date with ARAVT, which would, funnily enough, be a rematch of the ESEA Cash Cup that just happened recently. So yeah, very much higher stakes.
Yeah. Want to try and represent the Asian region.
Oh, Fury tries to swing out wide. We've seen a lot of that so far. Seems like confidence is very much at an all-time high, but you've got to be careful. IHC have pulled off some pretty sneaky rounds before as well. Techno, unfortunately, will not be the one to contribute to this, even if it is going to be opening up.
Put pressure on A. There's at least a Molotov in response, but there is some space to be taken here by Score. As soon as that bomb is recovered into lower tunnels, there would be a way forward, and Annihilation will look to regroup with his teammate. They've vacated here on ARAVT, and they'll be setting up for a retake. Hi will have a quick flank from the lower tunnels, but the rest of the squad are moving forward. Score as well, not even prioritizing just getting that bomb down. Annihilation as well has dealt with the damage from behind. Now just 2 players that remain here from ARAVT around those double doors, and they're not respecting the space here for Annihilation. As soon as he's given audio cues over, as soon as he taps that bomb, Shinobi should swing, and he does. 10-1 to kick things off on this CT side. ARAVT just continue to dominate.
Yes, they do.
You know, it's strange because I think going into these playoffs, most people would have had IHC, maybe Linvision as our finals. But based on the way that we're seeing IHC perform today and what we saw from Lin so far in their other playoff game, but also what we saw in their first round, they're probably favorites to take it. Maybe ARAVT have other plans. Maybe they'd be the ones on a date with Destiny.
Blitz will meet his demise early on. Seems to be a recurring theme, but you can replace Blitz with any of the IHC players and you could still say the same thing.
Yeah. So there's something back. Lose 1 player, but find 1 in response. A little bit of damage being done to Score as well as he tries to dodge nades. It's kind of surprising how much space they've gone towards B in a couple of rounds now here, IHC.
Yeah.
Shouldn't realize that there's a player over at Car, and yeah, a couple of shots fired by Cabal, but Control didn't realize.
You can definitely start to see ARAVT sort of getting a little bit hyperactive in their duels and in their rotations. Fury right now as well finds Cabal, and that's just a beautiful shot. And even, oh my god, he continues to jiggle while he's reloading. That's disrespectful. Hi in the meanwhile says, I don't need an op to deal with you, fool. Bomb's been found.
Yeah. A fresh smoke that's down. Sure, Annihilation can get this kill, but he has to push through into the long tunnels, and I mean, that's just never an advantageous fight. The flash over, not even well-timed alongside Score. Tamir is there to at least cover as well, but Dean dealt with an Annihilation no-scoping Hi. They basically had to win by elimination there, and they do it just in time.
I don't know why the top mid player would be pushing in that situation, but again, just to go back to it, a lot of, you know, these repeats, a lot of these pushes, a lot of these over-rotations from ARAVT, and finally it's punished, but you can't say the punishment feels particularly good.
It does feel like a little bit of complacency, perhaps. Like, oh wow, this game's turning out to be quite easy. I think is maybe what's gone through the minds of a couple of the ARAVT players there, and they just keep on taking fights and taking risks, which some of those have paid off in the earlier stages of this half, but we've seen in the past maybe 4 or 5 rounds how much closer the contest has been. You know, we've had a couple of survivors for ARAVT, maybe even one surviving player, but because they had such good money at the start of this defense, they were fine to make those concessions, but now their money's not in a spot where they can continuously pull through buys. If IHC win this one, they would topple past the funds of the CT side, and they might even be able to recover this half 10-5.
Good shot in the middle of it all, at the very least, to start things off. But Fury's gone by undetected. Once again, this MP9 is going to be playing up close and personal. Score's been spotted, and the adjustment is good. Low HP on Fury, sure, but the advantage is still absolute, and high to cover it off. He's even looking to push through the smoke. Oh, come on, Fury.
Yeah, I think Cabal was probably thinking the same thing. It's like, you really tried this, huh?
Bro.
I can't believe you. The audacity. Swapping of guns over at the B bomb site because Shinobi was low HP. We've usually seen control on that secondary op. IHC have taken long control, and ARAVT know it. IHC continues to try and take these fights. Long... Oh my god. Annihilation had no idea that he would go for such a wide swing, but HiHi can't afford to take any more damage for these duels. The Molotov should just finish off the job. No real way for HiHi to react there. Burned to bits, and now just Tamir and Shinobi that remain. And one bullet a pop would do it, sitting inside of that smoke. Didn't work out for Tamir, but Cabal is found. Bomb could go down. ARAVT would move to save with Shinobi's AWP.
Just to remind everyone, IHC can still very much make this a comeback. A 10-5 is pretty damn likely when you're going double up this often and you're losing them as much as you have. ARAVT's money is gone. They're going to have at least one more gun round, so an opportunity there, but this half is basically separated by one gun round for IHC to get to a 10-5. And so many rounds where it looked like ARAVT just has them in the bag. Even this one, if Fury doesn't die over there, if you completely different circumstance to be playing from. Great kill from a high, but then afterwards his Molotov goes by and misses because he's flashbanged. He's actually going backwards, so when you're going backwards, the trajectory makes it so it's not going to bounce off the wall and get close to ramp either. So the A ramp position isn't Molotoved off. His teammates don't have the time that they think they do because of it, and he himself as well can just calmly line up the Molotov for Gandalf and take him down.
Again, they're just these small decision-making mistakes as well from ARAVT that, while they have an advantage, some teams would maybe move to be a bit more conservative afterwards. ARAVT just keep limit testing. I think they found their limit as well. Long taken here from IHC, nice and quick. The singular AWP that was saved made its way into high times, and the boost found nothing because IHC are working as 5 all together. Actually, does he want to get involved? Yeah, it seems like that would be probably the wrong choice. Yeah, round 1 from IHC, even before it really began. No surprises. Not like Ancient. I'm right there with you. I think 10-5 is very feasible here for IHC, especially now.
Yeah.
Burning into the next round. The money's not even in the best of spots to have all premium rifles and the sort.
Okay. At least a rifle taken forward, but actually quickly traded out. Techno able to find it. If this AWP falls, this is going to be a real problem for them in the next one. And they are very much closing in on him. And Annihilation is found him. They don't have an AWP in the next round.
Yeah, imagine that. From the first 5 rounds, struggling to get even singular frags on all your players, to now being in contest for a 10-5 half. I think IHC would be happy enough with how this half is turned around. Not about how you start, it's all about how you finish. Something tortoise in the hair.
Hashtag coach quotes. Long contest comes out, no kills so far. Damage is dealt either side, and it's Techno to be the initial victim. And it seems like victims will continue to ramp right up. A double from either side as we are going to have the 3v3 reset. B-side players on the CT side have actually taken the onus to start pushing in from behind, so IHC are very much on a time, and they realize that Blitz trying to go back and discover Control, and he will discover him, but only with lead pumped into the body. Control's going to be able to reset, move back to LT, and Shinobi goes ahead and maintains and resumes the pressure on Long instead of him. This is still a very unhealthy CT side. HB is not in their favor. And then with Annihilation slowly moving forward, covering off Elevator, the real risk is going to be Control's flashbang. If he deploys that at the perfect time, this could be big, but instead of that, he's actually prioritizing, trying to play in from behind. A smoke down flashbang needs to be lined up and deployed. Control's got it in his hand, but HiHi's not calling for it. They may have delayed it too long. HiHi gets the first one for free. Shinobi gets another on top, and it's IHC. We're still locked down to 4, Michael.
Yeah, great job there from HiHi staying alive, and then the flank from Shinobi is great. A 10-5 half as ARAVT, or sorry, an 11-5 half, or 4. I can't do counting, and I can't do math, but ARAVT are satisfied with a +7 moving into the second half. We'll see how they do on the attack after the break.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com. love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
A surprising scoreline, and by surprising, I don't just mean the fact that IHC is behind. I mean the fact that IHC got 4 rounds with the way things were going. ARAVT definitely did have their foot off the pedal just a little bit, but now the question is, can this car get going again?
That is a good question, and to see whether or not they can pull it off, we'll have to tune into their defensive side, because we know that the IHC are good on CT halves. At least traditionally, that's been their better of the two sides. I think every team currently in top Counter-Strike shares this with them. But
just a little bit.
At the moment, ARAVT just feel like they're playing a more complete game than IHC. Even when we looked back at Ancient, that seemed to be the case. There was, I think, less shenanigans that happened overall from this squad. Really liking what ARAVT have been presenting us here today, and IHC may just get trounced by the underdogs. Have to wait and see. Blitz is being very aggressive and dealt with nice and early, so a massive gap in the IHC defense already opens up.
I love this. I really love this. Gonna talk about it later on, though, because Score right now is contending with Hi, who was already low from the initial duel. Annihilation and Score will make it a 3-on-3, and the disadvantage has been recovered. 2 players trying to go, oh, yeah, Score. Got to press control first on that one. Can be tricky, though. Shinobi can as well. Techno around the corner has got too many players to contend with, as Tamir is also making his way over. Score is now left in a 1-on-2. Player on the bomb side, and he should know it. Fury around the corner will be juggling it out, and it is Tamir to come through and close it. 12-4. Good start for the pistol.
Yeah, critical kills to open up, and then it really came down to whether or not Score and Annihilation could keep things going on that A bomb site. And while Annihilation did a good job of getting the first one, things just unfortunately fell apart from there. After plants from Shinobi and Tamir were pretty much flawless. Good trading all the way through it.
They actually threw like the first short crossings one-way smoke from T-spawn, which is quite cool. I knew the Vanguard smoke lineup from there. I didn't know there was also a short cross one, which is always nice to see. Gotta definitely be picking up that demo later on. Fury, in the meanwhile, picks up Annihilation and, well, body slams him down pretty much.
Weirdly, I think he won that duel second round of CT side as well. Fury has been on point with this scout.
Yeah. Control moves basketballs, miss out every single opportunity given up to him by the Mag 7. Normally a master off it. Now, instead, he is going to be wishing that it could be a little bit more faithful to it. Fury does end up falling in the backlines, though. That's Cabal actually finding him with the USB.
And Nade won't finish off the tag onto Control. But there's a whole lot more damage where that comes from, and the fact these players are low does not lead itself well to ARAVT, but the weapons aren't great for the retake. Shotguns and snipers. This is like a niche game mode I'm sure people will appreciate. Pretty sure they used to have that in Halo, no? Snipers?
Only played the campaign for Halo, to be honest, so I don't actually know.
Well, I'm just going to trust my old wisdom here. Pulling out a USB is cheating, but Cabal may try and get some more funds. Won't be successful. Tag on Shinobi misses as well, so while there's nice damage done, IHC still struggled to put rounds together. Starting of halves has not treated IHC nicely on Dust2. No pistol round wins.
Ending of this half might not treat them nicely either with the way things are going.
Looking like an IHC lower bracket run is needed.
Yeah, but hey man, remember the words of Kuroki? I can't say them on air, but remember them. If you guys don't know them up, I'd recommend looking up Kuroki in the true site for Team Liquid when they won the International 7. About lower brackets. Annihilation, in the meanwhile, will be trying to re-navigate backwards short very soon. Blitz is caught out with a grenade in his hand. Good for the spray down. Actually, the Farmers is going to end up on top, but a jump up while wielding the USB is Score, who's been set up for success, though, as a great double kill. Will end up helping out. 4 players clustered inside CT. The bomb is in short. No one nearby to actually defend it means that the bomb should be plantable at the very bare minimum. So money guaranteed, and Shinobi's got a decent position for plat as well. No one coming in to contest him. There are 2 smokes available for the CT, so Control knows he's got to come through with at least 1 kill of a hair and try, and oh my goodness, there's 3 players coming out to peek him as well. Too many players, but so much damage dealt over by Control as well. Trying to keep himself in position and alive long enough. Score is low. Score will not be taken down right now. Shinobi's also just fighting back right over to the heads, but with the smoke down, this seems impossible. 2 players swing out, and time's going to be really dangerously low over here.
Oh.
They can't find the bomb.
Okay,
They do have a kit, though. They do have a kit. Never mind. They have a
Oh
kit.
my god, I got scared as well for a second. Yeah, that was a really nice effort there from Control to at least make it work, but Score eventually put him out of business. Score survived on 1 HP for the duels he took on ARAVT, so he had to be very careful about how he approached the following fights. I think it was even a teammate smoke that hit him, but I think because of the reduced damage and it was like in the leg, it didn't actually do any HP damage, so he's probably counting his lucky stars he even survived. But
So what you're saying is we've had a lot of rounding errors so far.
yes, we certainly have. Deep nade over towards the upper tunnels, and actually will at least rattle ARAVT a little. I think that's nade so early is a nice little indicator that they're going to be aggressive from LT, but they instead vacate immediately because they found the opening kill they were looking for, and that was towards top mid. This little aggressive move from Cabal. So, with this, ARAVT are kind of stuck in the tunnels. Even reinvestigating middle will be a little bit dangerous, so they just try to contact out, and they're successful. Techno's dropped Cabal, still committing to the bomb site, and he can't get that smoke to bloom fast enough. He was praying that it would give him coverage, but IHC have lost this B site nice and snappy.
Yeah. This is going to be a nearly impossible retake. The only advantage they've got for themselves actually is the 2 MAC-10s. Tamir close by with this one as well. Shouldn't be able to get this kill for free, even if Blitz ends up checking. Yeah, oh no! The Casa's curse will strike again. Tamir gets 2 for free. And even Hi comes around the corner just to take down Annihilation. CT side economy is floundering, and IHC are drowning right now.
Yeah, they were missing head armor on one of those players in the upper tunnels, so that MAC-10 is lethal. Once Blitz is dealt with, Score basically didn't have a chance. 14-5, IHC have to keep the pressure up. They need one of those miracle rounds they pulled off on Ancient. FAMAS, couple M4s, and some upgraded pistols. They've got a lot of utility, and that will certainly help the affair, but if ARAVT decide to just go compounding out, then this might just be a whole load of errors, but no, ARAVT decide too much is too quick. They lose all their frontline players, and Fury's brought down low HP as well. 2-on-5 to kick this off.
All right, this is where ARAVT are really going to need to call a tactical timeout very soon. Because, look, you've got money to buy in the next round, most likely, that's fine. But the problem is you're going back to the exact same situation you had in Ancient as well, which is where you're giving up maybe a little bit too much.
You don't have to go for the jugular straight away.
Yeah, you don't have to rush beat, basically, is what we're getting to.
Maybe they thought they'd eco. Definitely feasible. That was definitely a buying line that IHC could have gone down, but it would have meant fighting for overtime.
Also just realized Cabal's got 2 kills without buying armor in the first place.
Who needs armor when they're running through smoke?
This is a true fact.
Oh, Control holds on to his AK. As you can see from that bomb being over towards the B-bomb site. He's not going for it. 20 seconds and just wanting to stall it out. IHC shouldn't investigate too much further themselves. Blitz might actually fall into his crosshair. Yep. Sold the barrel, so got a nice little extra heads up of that Blitz was coming. He simply sat in his car and waited around. None of this would have happened. Forced Control's hand.
op purchased up this time will be passed over to Hi. I'm very confused. Okay, he wants to be the one taking the peek down mid. Understandable. Okay, that is a good replay. This is true. The ball's actually been tagged up in the meanwhile. I'm guessing that should have been with the op down mid, most likely.
I think it was Control that ended up getting that tag, but makes its way into high signs as well. They were doing a lot of gun juggling. I think they were trying to make sure that everybody was within arm's reach of the weapons that were dropped for them.
Man, if makes sense, gotta go for the juggling, the replication of the jig jugs, you know? Control Mad will end up falling, so despite the early HP advantage that they are able to find, Score is not going to be flashed off by the particular pop flash thrown forward at all. Pushing through. Oh dear, goes ahead and finds himself another one. That could have been a freebie for Hi. Instead, just a matter of timing. After everything that Tamir had found on Ancient, I think it is safe to say that timing can go both ways. This time Score is the one to come out on top.
Yeah, Hi just missed the shot when Score swung, so maybe letting his hand off his mouse just as his teammate was moving in for the weapons. Either way, 3-on-4. One that ARAVT are kind of stuck about. 35 seconds and yet to really commit to either side of the map. Bomb making its way over, and look how aggressive they're being here on IHC. They've got a perfect crossfire. The one fighting from short and the other one from the lower tunnels, so they dealt with what was in front of them, but immediately pincered in, and Cabal doesn't even re-swing into it, just tracking through the door as Hi was committed to the mid-floor. ARAVT still stuck at 14. IHC answering back with a couple.
They are retracing a substantial amount of weapon and utility. They're not on full loss bonus, are they? They can't
should be on.
Their
Should
loss
be
bonus is 2400. 2400, yeah. It says it on top of the screen. I just realized it right now. All the CS I watched, I didn't even know
The
that.
HUD is made of magic.
Indeed it is.
All that misdirection.
That's all we need. Score, however, is missing a lot of things, not just direction. He's missing his opponents, as he will end up being taken down. Regardless, gets a couple of kills for his trouble. Always nice to be able to farm up those Glocks.
Game Punch is so busted, it's crazy. Score missed those first few fights, and then on his third set of bursts, finally connected, and they couldn't do anything about it. Aims in the sky. Time for ARAVT to answer back. Loss bonus was enough that they can reinvest into it. AWP for Hi, all these rifles. Deep smoke by Cabal. Make sure that the Hi AWP is mitigated. And he jumping through, Cabal will find him, and that's the bomb dropped as well. So a lot of resources already attained here by Cabal, but even hovering towards top mid, this is a critical fight. Control able to stand his ground. Lower tunnels players were coming too, so even if he found that one, very likely he goes traded, but space taken by Fury ends up in a dink for damage. Blitz does go down to the spam eventually. 3-on-3 after all the chaos. Bomb still to be recovered onto one of the backs of the ARAVT players, but they're still spread thin.
And if that dink wasn't through the wall, that would have been a 4v3 instantly found. Shinobi thinking about getting aggressive over here, and Techno is wise to his tricks. Bomb, like you mentioned, not recovered just quite yet, but Control has found himself the perfect kill. The problem's going to be Score still back in mid. He knows where the bomb was dropped, and Tamir is unable to do anything to recover it. Control now on the A side itself has made plenty of noise, but I don't know if he's quite audible by Techno. Not in that position at the very least. There's enough time for him to at least shred in the long push as well, so they have to be very careful about it. Instead, Techno
3 bullets.
will end up falling. 3 bullets might not be enough. Techno on the other side, crouch peeking forward, and a shot to the head is all that it takes. Only one player kept alive, but IHC will steal the op and be very happy with how this is going. ARAVT, this is where you start to sweat and wonder about all those rounds you gave away.
And that was the main concern when they lose the package in such an exposed area, is that if you don't move to get it out of sight lines and into a more controllable area, you just end up having to run after it. And, you know, Control got a lot of room over on the A-bomb side. That's why the urgency was there.
He bought.
One hero AK. I don't hate it entirely, but it's not ideal.
Makes one of us.
Gotta do something with it, though. That's the main thing. Lower tunnels will eventually be investigated.
Oh.
You might fall into the AWP. Oh, that's perfect. That's the entry they're looking for. And there's an AWP to make its way into the hands of Hi. Long, stretchy arms. Mr. Elastic will get it. Or Mr. Fantastic.
Also the play you wanted on.
He's got armor as well, so taking fights won't be as difficult as it could have otherwise been.
Blitz is getting exploratory. Flashbang down middle, Control. Oh no, Cabal's going down. Control will not find Blitz. The timing doesn't quite work out for him, so still a 3-on-3, but that's an AK loss, and that is massive. Keep in mind, they don't actually know whether Shinobi has a rifle or not. You could maybe even say the same about Tamir. I can't really confirm that. So IHC have to be playing some very, very scared Counter-Strike. 2 players on the A-bomb side is exactly what you want, but Score will be very far away on the rotate. The AWP unable to find the kill. Score is good. Now that Techno's going to be far away on the rotate, but Score's gone down. Shinobi's Deagle is all he needs, and the bomb can be planted off the back of it. Blitz is doing his best to hold on. AWP of Hi still covering off, but does he realize there's a player in CT? The flick is not quite there. Tamir's Deagle will still be fantastic. Remember, IHC have had a lot of magic half-buys and Deagles going their way. It's finally time for ARAVT to maybe come out to play.
Almost impossible round to win. Techno already used the smoke, and Tamir is hitting everything with this Deag. So crucial. He hit the shot on short, but then on the little jump up, knew that he was investigating with jump peaks. Yeah, once Techno threw that smoke, and it was imperfect, didn't provide a whole lot of cover to aggress up the ramp. It was almost an unbreakable crossfire to beat. ARAVT moved to 15 off of the hero rifle and pistols that surrounded it. So it looked a little questionable coming in, but they find success. An ideal buy here for IHC, but nice aggressive stance from the Annihilation Orb.
He is really just going to go out there and check both sides from the
He's
one
gargoyling it.
Scoped in. Pretty much, man. He's going full Woxic right there. Well, on the Mag 7 could end up finding control should there be any sort of foray forward. Have to like the setup coming out from IHC, but the problem is Annihilation's legs have been punched down. He's bleeding out, but not dead yet.
Should adventure no further there, Annihilation. Still sitting within the site, and ARAVT have yet to make their decision. They're being boxed in slowly by the Blitz MP9. Fury is stopped in place.
Not necessarily the best of weapons to try and play around these close-range angles. Tamir has been good about clearing them as well, but Blitz's crouch is perfect. The double 1-2 straight up, and Cabal's more than happy to collect on another as well. That patience is paid off. And IHC will continue to fight it out. Score. Molly on his side. Quick shot to the front. It's a flash from Techno to set it up. Hi and Shinobi do get some good trades, but Shinobi is just a dead man walking.
Things are looking good there for IHC. Took a lot of space early into that round, and you know there's definitely risks associated with it, but ARAVT were playing so much together, and they were holding in place for any potential IHC aggression on the extremities. They kind of misread the idea of them even just peeking down middle, because the AWP's usually been there for ARAVT to hold for some of these mid crosses and take some early challenges. Wasn't in that round, and it was punished. Immediate score, blinded up by the flash thrown out, but a player did make it to the dumpster. Takes a lot of damage for doing so. Threw a Molotov, taking an HE, and the AWP of an eye of... Actually, no, not even the AWP, sorry. It was Blitz that peeked down mid and found a kill. Four and five, but one of these players is weak in the knees for ARAVT.
Annihilation finds himself another one in the meanwhile. That secondary up for Cabal as well. Strikes true. ARAVT are getting a taste of their own medicine with the success that the double op is having right now. Gotta say, man, even with ARAVT on match point, this is very much looking like they are not in control of the game at all.
Yeah. It's feeling a little bit like IHC second half, where you might find 1 or 2 rounds of success, but you're not dictating the flow of the game.
I mean, we've gone from a 10-1 to a 15-11 despite a second half pistol round and capitalization of the back of the pistol round.
But they're so close to the finish line. Surely there is no way it slips through their fingertips.
That's where finish lines are the slipperiest. Especially when you're making decisions like this one. You're saving up 2 players. 2 players who, look, you're saving them, sure, but Score's more than happy to go out and try and test you. 1 kill comes out. Blitz on the other side is just going to go for the wall bang. There you go, freebie. Flashbang as well to boot. High. Hoping that he doesn't end up going down after time. He will keep himself alive, but his team's buying patterns have been entirely upset because of this.
Much harder to justify when your team can't buy around it. So what do they go for? The light armor, some upgraded pistols, and that'll be that. Trying to make a rush play work with an AWP. Very early stature over towards the B side. They're trying to set up for this boost nice and quick, and if they do assemble it early enough, it'll be a hard one for Cabal to adjust to. Double zoomed, you shouldn't see it.
They know the players close by. Really slim angle, but the problem is Cabal's actually moved away to the other side already.
Should have heard the scoping on the right side as well, so...
Yeah, they've got a good idea of what's going on. Boost assembled yet again. Nah, that just reeks of desperation at this point. Cabal will miss his opportunity. Deep grenade gets shot out. Hasn't quite picked up on the fact that there was a player around the corner boosting them as well. The lurk smoke set up in the meanwhile. There's actually a player who's already moved past the Molotov in middle, so could be an angle for Fury to work off of. The problem is his teammates have already lost their lives. Fury, even if he gets 1 kill over here, Blitz is a solitary casualty. Cabal can cover off mid in the meanwhile as well, prevent him from actually finding that M4 and gives Annihilation time to come through and clean him up. Once again, we're in a position where you've got to save the op. This time, maybe something more to be done with the Score from behind and Techno as well. 12th round for IHC already. Michael, I have got to say, I've got a feeling we might be going to overtime.
Yeah, the faith is dwindling, huh? ARAVT are looking a little lost in these rounds. We saw about a minute of dancing up and down between the 2 B-side AWPers, and ended up being just a whole lot of nothing. Good stuff from Techno to make sure it didn't go much further than that. This feels like an ARAVT timeout. They do need some kind of a change of pace. While they've certainly liked to play fast in certain moments, since this IHC comeback has gotten started, it's actually their default that's broken down. Losing a lot of players in the opening segments, sometimes having just exploitable weaknesses that even if IHC are kind of flying blind into these setups and these aggressive moves that they've been making, they have been punishing ARAVT don't have available in their default. A lot of util sailing out towards long, and Score was by his lonesome. Not going to commit around that smoke are ARAVT, though. Once again, trying to box in, but this time Tamir is ready.
Flashbang gives up his position this time. Blitz has ordinarily been completely silent in his move up. This is the first time he's actually called for a flashbang. Tamir peeks out immediately after that, and they find the 5v4. They're too wary about what's been happening these past few rounds.
Looks at the cross. This time, score will be separated because player down on the lower ramp cannot get into support. Fury, the fantastic entry. 5-on-3 now. ARAVT taking this site quick.
Double up as well to try and retake this seems impossible. Cabal's demise is there as well. A 5-on-2, and where we started to lose hope. ARAVT right back into things. That finish line, touching distance, has been for so long, and Annihilation might keep it that way.
Oh.
He's gone for a third, finds himself the repeat, and the kill right there with it. 180 in the beginning, now going to try and be the hero, going to try and go for the ace clutch once again. Annihilation already saw one of these, but he can't find the bomb. He can't find the bomb. Molotov for Tamir as well will be able to force him off of it. There is no smoke, there is no time, and once again Annihilation in his attempt for the ace is thwarted. He would have had time. He would have had time if he just held on.
I can't.
That is catastrophe.
I can't believe it. How was he to know that he could have just simply stuck it because it wasn't planted for him? I was. I had to. I knew that we were coming back to cameras. I didn't want to just be like this because that was very, very close. He might have just ace clutched for IHC, but it wasn't to be. Not this time over. ARAVT